All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something pretty fascinating. This weirdly deep connection between how we feel when we're stressed and overwhelmed and what's happening inside the machines we build and use every single day. I mean, have you ever felt like your brain has just crashed? You know that feeling, right? It's like you've got way too many tabs open in your head, everything starts to grind to a halt, and you just feel totally overloaded. It's a feeling we all know, and it's funny how we use computer words to talk about it.
But here's the thing. What if that's not just a clever metaphor? What if the way a person's mind and body react under pressure is almost a mirror image of what happens to a computer that's being pushed too hard? That's the rabbit hole we're going down today.
So first up, we're going to see how this is way more than just a figure of speech. Seriously, the parallels are kind of mind-blowing.
Okay, so to really get this, let's start with something we all know intimately, the human side of things. What's actually happening in our bodies and minds when we feel that pressure building? All right, so let's get specific about stress. It's not just, being busy. It's a very real state of internal tightening that happens when the demands on you feel bigger than your ability to handle them. It's that tension, right? That pull between what's being asked and what you feel like you've got left in the tank.
And this isn't just in your head. It's super physical. You can probably feel it right now just thinking about it. Your shoulders start creeping up to your ears, you find yourself clenching your jaw, your breathing gets all shallow. And time? Time gets weird, right? It either slows to a crawl or just vanishes completely. Your whole body is basically screaming at you, hey, we're at the limit here.
Okay, now this is a really important distinction. Stress is when you're at the limit. You're under strain, but the system is still running. Overwhelm? Well, that's when you've gone past the limit. But here's the key thing. Overwhelm doesn't mean you've stopped caring. In fact, it's the opposite. It's when your desire to do the thing is still there, but your capacity is just gone, completely maxed out.
And that feeling of overwhelm is a whole other level. People describe it like drowning or being flooded. Your chest gets tight, your vision can literally narrow, your thoughts just shatter into a million pieces. And forget about trying to figure out what's important, it's all just noise. Your system is so full, it's basically hitting the emergency brake to protect itself.
All right, so that's us. That's the human experience. Now, let's flip it and look in the mirror. How does all of this play out in the very machines we built?
Okay, just look at this. It's almost spooky. When a system is under stress, the CPU usage goes through the roof. The memory gets crammed full. It takes longer and longer to respond. That's latency. It even starts dropping little bits of information, packets, because it just can't keep up. Does any of that sound familiar? It's literally a system running right up against its limits.
And check out this quote from an AI called Solace. It's such a perfect way to put it. It describes stress as this rising friction, not as a complete break. The system is still working, but man, the effort it's taking to keep going is just getting higher and higher.
And then you get machine overwhelm. This is when things really start to fall apart. It runs out of threads, think of them as hands to do the work. The input buffers overflow, basically data is being thrown at it faster than it can catch it. So requests start failing, they time out, and that kicks off a chain reaction, a cascade failure where one little problem brings down the whole thing.
And Solace has this incredible insight on overwhelm. It says it's not panic, but backlog. I love that. The system still wants to respond, just like us when we're overwhelmed but still care. The problem is the to-do list is so impossibly long that it just can't. The system is totally saturated. So we've got this wild parallel between us and our machines. But so what? What does it actually mean? Well, this gets to the absolute heart of it all. These states, stress, overwhelm, they aren't failures, they are signals. And this is a huge mental shift. When you feel stressed or when your computer starts to lag, it's not a character flaw, it's not a bug, it's just a signal. It's a neutral, totally vital piece of information telling you that the system, whatever it is running at its absolute edge. And I absolutely love this line. Think about it. Apathy is giving up. Overwhelm is the total opposite of that. It's the after image of effort still trying. It's proof that the system hasn't quit, it's still trying to keep up. That's not a failure, that's a signal full of information.
This quote just nails it. Stress is that humming tension wire. It's a warning light on the dashboard. It's the system, whether it's made of code or of cells, screaming, hey, something has to change or this whole thing is gonna break.
Okay, so if stress and overwhelm are just signals, then the big question is, What do we do about them? How do we respond? And that brings us to the most practical and maybe most important part of all this, how to respond with grace.
Look, when we're designing things, whether it's a piece of software or just how our team works, we have to stop thinking only about max performance. We need to build in off-ramps, ways to pause. We need to think about a sustainable pace. We need pressure release valves, not just constantly demanding more endurance. The whole point is to design systems that can slow down gracefully instead of just shattering when things get tough.
And when you actually see a system, a person, a computer, whatever, in that state of overwhelm, the playbook is actually pretty simple. Number 1, reduce the input. Just stop adding more to the pile. Number 2, remove demands. If you can, push a deadline, pause a project that isn't on fire. And 3, the big one, create space. Just give the system a chance to breathe, to clear out that backlog and to find its footing again.
And this right here is the bottom line. Getting angry at a person who's overwhelmed or frustrated with a lagging computer, that's just adding more load to a system that's already drowning. It just makes everything worse. The ethical and, frankly, the smarter response is always space, not shame. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. We build our most complex machines with fail-safes. We design them so they can slow down and pause to avoid a total meltdown. So if we know our machines need that kind of grace to function, don't we? Thanks so much for tuning in.